Welcome to day 3 of my limiting belief series. We're now on Wednesday. Monday, we talked about what exactly limiting beliefs were. Tuesday, we talked about how they hold you back in your life. And today, we're going to talk about how to identify them. There are many different ways to identify limiting beliefs. I'm going to talk about 2 today. If you know of any more, please write them in the comments. There's people watching that want the advice, so please, if you feel you can add anything, I invite you to put the comment in this post. So when we talk about limiting beliefs, they are absolutely everywhere. Yesterday we talked about mum guilt. That's only specific to that world of mums. But limiting beliefs are absolutely in every part and every department of our lives. So that can be even traditionally. If you think of every single person in my family has gone to college, there's a pressure for you to go to college, even if it's not the right option for you. Your parents will expect it from you, and you will expect it from you. You may not see that as a limiting belief until you've gone through college and thought, well, actually, that wasn't the right road for me. It's nearly you're an autopilot, so you don't see the limiting belief. Other limiting beliefs could be having to spend Christmas every single year or Thanksgiving with your family, regardless of the situation. You're expected to be there. And again, there's pressure for you to be there. And I'll talk about that in a bit more detail. So as I said, they literally seep into every single area of our lives. So how exactly do we identify them? So the first tip that I'm going to give you today is to identify with your feelings. How are you feeling? Okay. So let's go back to the spending Christmas every single year with your family. Now, I know for some people that is a fabulous experience, and I know for others it really isn't. And I know some that do identify it as a limiting belief, as in they don't want the conflict or they don't want to stop a tradition. And that's fine in itself. So every year you go home, every single year, you've never missed a year. You always go home with your kids, with your family. Even when you were at college, you always made sure to be home with your mum, okay, and your parents. And every year your mum announces to everybody in the room, oh, it's our 42nd year together and we've never missed one, which again adds pressure. And it's an absolutely no disrespect to your mum because she just loves seeing you. But what she might not realize is the stress and the chaos that happens prior to you getting there. So you might even enjoy your Christmas with your mum, you might love all that, but the weeks coming up to it can be absolutely chaotic and absolutely stressful. So let's talk about that. So, organization. When you need to go to your mum's, you have to organize an array of different things. You have to organize a dog sitter, which costs more over Christmas. You have to organize all the presents well in advance, wrapped in advance. And I know some people are just like this naturally. Some of us aren't. I'm certainly not. But the other point is when you have kids and literally 48 hours before Santa has to come, they have changed the items on their list. That is so stressful in itself, never mind that you now have to get flights to go somewhere. So all of that adds into it. You may spend an absolutely extortionate amount of money to get to see your family, whether that is petrol or gas or flights. I know some people in Europe would be getting ferries as well. So at Christmas, all those prices go up. So it could be an absolutely extortionate amount of money. So perhaps you've bought a house this year and perhaps you've wanted to go on an expensive holiday and you just don't get to spend that money elsewhere. It has to be reserved for Christmas. You may also have the issue of your partner's family um, telling you that they would like to spend Christmas with you and you feeling pressured that you can't do that. And you may be getting pressure from your partner as well as to why you're not spending Christmas with their family. And the last one might be the kids. Sometimes the kids want that bike on Christmas morning, and if you're taking a flight somewhere to see your parents, you're not getting to give them that bike. So that might be another pressure that you're feeling. So all of that stress and all of that pressure will add to you having a really stressful Christmas, perhaps you're not sleeping. And it could really have a dent on your confidence. So just to be aware of those feelings. I mean, other feelings to look for with limiting beliefs behind them could be nervousness, impatience, being doubtful, and again, low self-esteem. Always look out for those low self-esteems. They're most of the time there's a limiting belief behind that. So make sure to question exactly where those feelings are coming from. My second tip I'm going to say today is to listen to yourself. That might sound a bit crazy, but the majority of us have an inner dialogue all day. So we say things repetitively. This is the thing about our inner dialogue. We actually don't notice it. We don't notice what we're saying, but it is a string of patterns that keep repeating all day. So it's about noticing those patterns. And what you might find is you go into work every day and you're saying to yourself, I'm late again. I'm late. I'm always late. And that might be a limiting belief. Your limiting belief might be, I've just left the kids off to preschool. The carpool line is just a bit slow. And you never seem to, and it might be a bit late, you never seem to be able to have the time to drop the kids off and then get into work on time. So that might be something you have a conversation with your boss about, rather than saying you're always late, rather than pinning that on you. And even if it is on you, well, then you can look at that and decide, oh, maybe I need to get up 15 minutes earlier. So that's a limiting belief in itself. You might be the type that you're an overthinker. So you might think that you have offended your coworker. You mightn't have, but you think you have. And that turns into in your brain, I'm a difficult person to get on with. You might not be. It's a limiting belief. What about I'm angry with the kids? Say you've shouted at the kids, and then in your head you think, I'm not a good mum. You might not even know you're saying that. That's the worst thing. Those thoughts might be going through your head and you might be calling yourself a bad mum. And then when you think about being a mother, you feel like low confidence, just absolutely terrible about yourself because of this limiting belief. So what I would suggest is, if you decide to analyze what you're saying inside your head, is to write these down. If you get any repetitiveness, write it down. Have a look of exactly what you're saying to yourself. I am a bad mother. Write it down. Because it sounds ridiculous when you put it down on paper, but even if it doesn't, it's something that you can come back to and reframe it. So as I said, the biggest thing about the inner dialogue is you don't know you're saying it, and you're saying it maybe 10 times a day to yourself. So it's absolutely becoming a real belief. It's not, it's a limiting belief. So that's my 2 tips. As I said, I really invite you to come along, put down any comments that you have below. And yeah, anything, any questions, anything that you have, please put them below. A recap for anyone, if this is your first time watching this video. I'm a transformational coach. My name's Grania McConnell. I'm a transformational coach with Strong Path Coaching. I do one-to-one coaching packages. So if that's something you would be interested in, I do a free discovery call before you book any of my packages, and we can have a chat about that. But more exciting, in December, and I'm actually going to now extend it to January because the slots are filling up for December. In December and January, I'm going to do a free goal consultation. This is absolutely no obligation to buy any of my packages. So what we'll do in that goal consultation is look at 2020. We'll reflect on your goals. They may have been derailed. You may have had to be a bit flexible and creative with them mid-year. That's fine. We'll just look at them. We'll look at what you had, and we'll set really good goals for 2021. I'm not talking about that I'm going to lose a stone, I'm going to lose, say, 14 pounds in January type goals. I'm talking about longevity goals, aspirational goals that are going to last the entire year and keep you motivated the entire year. If that's something you're interested in, shoot me a PM, and I can send you my calendar. But it's been lovely again. I'm loving all the interaction. I'm loving everybody getting in touch with their information and anything that can add. It's just a fabulous conversation. And feel free to put anything down there. I will see you tomorrow. We're going to talk more about how to get rid of these limiting beliefs and how to live the life that you want to lead. So thank you so much again, and